I think there are some questions also. There is one question from Jagendra Katke, like any research on the treatment for cancer, please. As I said, it's not about the treatment as such. There are lots of research articles published. If you search Shodha Ganga, the National Registry of Research work, thesis work related to, something around 25 theses or dissertations are available, where different methods of treatment for malignancy are suggested or tried, but I don't feel that there is any conclusive outcome. That's it. Then there is some question like Ghrita Prayoga in cancer. So as I said, I don't say like there would be any specific course of the treatment in malignancies or a specific course of the treatment I would suggest for the malignancy, because I have, as I have presented the whole question as such issue, so I don't suggest any specific Ghrita or specific treatment for the malignancy. It has to be based upon the patient's general condition that we have to decide about the treatment. I think that's about some of the questions. Then if there are any more questions, I will try to answer that, or otherwise we will end up. Role of Vajrabhasma in cancer. There is one question by Dr. Shashidhar Kaje. I don't know, I have not tried that, so I don't know. Maybe I have heard about certain people saying that Vajrabhasma is useful, so I have not tried, I don't have any direct experience. Then what are the chances of getting cancer from allopathic immunosuppressive drugs given in autoimmune disease? I think that fact, of course, that question is by Xavier Kiplunkar. Those are established, that fact, carcinogenic impact of many of the drugs, they are already studied, they are well known, statistical incidents are well known, so that's a quite possibility that many of the immunosuppressant drugs also can produce the malignancy, and their study is already done and you have the real data available. Then there was one question like can we use Kanchanabugulu in all malignancy conditions? I think I have very clearly said it's not that I would be using in all malignant conditions, only in those malignant conditions where it's presented as a mass tumor pathologies. There, of course, I would be prescribing Kanchanabugulu in all patients. Then use of Tokti Rasayana and Ballataka Rasayana, Prasanna Patnaik. Ballataka Rasayana, I have tried that, as I told in the earlier days, I have tried. With the Ballataka, using Ballataka Avaleha doesn't produce any significant change in the outcome of the patient, whereas Ballataka given in the form of Kshirapaka, I have tried that Ballataka seeds given in the form of Kshirapaka in ascending order, start with one seed first day, second seed, third, and so on. With that, up to about 25 or 30 seeds I used to give, and then gradually reduce. That kind of a Ballataka Prayoga I have tried in patients. Target of 48 could not be reached in any of the patients at that time. With that kind of a Ballataka Kshirapaka, we could establish some significant reduction in the size of a tumor, maybe both in breast as well as in case of the gastrointestinal tumor pathologies. But the whole treatment will be quite toxic. It will produce a bone marrow depression, and most of my patients have died due to the bone marrow depression with that. That complication doesn't occur with the Ballataka Rasayana, Leha, but you will not get the same clinical result. So because of this issue, now I have stopped that, and since last 15 or 20 years, I am not using Ballataka in the treatment of cancer conditions. That part I have clarified. Then role of Ashwagandha, I think I have clarified. There was one question about role of Ashwagandha. As of course, Ashwagandha is used for the Rasayana Chikitsa, the patients who are emaciated. I have given the example also. There is an Topacini and Similux. Of course, I will not comment about that part, like any specific drug like Topacini or so on. There could be, but my interest would not be not to go for these specific drugs which could be used for malignancy in general, not giving an alternative to the chemotherapy or so on. We should be thinking of the other aspects. Now, from Ayurvedic point of view, definitely yes, if at all there is a scope for some new research, I would be preferring to do the research from the other point of view, like the possible impact of the immunological mechanism, the defense mechanism of the body over the tumor. In the contemporary system of medicine too, there is a significant change in the trend of treatment of malignancy. In USA, Obama plan for Obama health treatment plan of and where the target is about that 2016 it was established. There the approach would be to try a immunological approach. So the future of the malignant treatment in the contemporary system would be trying to tackle that immunological system, trigger that immunological system which will be destroying that possible aberrant cell in the clone formation, rather than going for the chemotherapy. See, chemotherapy or radiation which is cytotoxic, the target would be kill the tumor cells by your toxic substances. But none of these drugs would be very selective only to the malignant cells. All these drugs would be destroying some normal cells too. So depending upon that ratio of normal cell destruction to the malignant cell destruction, you decide about the safety of that particular treatment. Anyway, the future approach of the treatment would be from the point of view of the treatment of this going for the treatment of these immunological approaches, and definitely yes, if such a therapy is now practiced in future, we will have a excellent scope from Ayurvedic point of view, and if at all there is a scope, definitely yes, we will have to try that from that point of view. That should be the future direction of the research than going for a specific anti-malignant treatment. And if at all a methodical research is done, I hope definitely yes, we can contribute more than the contemporary system possibly. Right. Then there is one question like guide the treatment for oral malignancy. I think I would not say specific about that oral malignancy as such. In all, it will be depending upon the dosha dushya lakshana of the patient. With the oral malignancy, one of the major problem would be all our medicines have to be given orally. If the patient is able to swallow and take the medicine, yes, of course, you may try. If a patient is present in a situation where you can't take the medicine orally, you can't. So there is a significant limitation in the upper GI problems. As I told you in the beginning, I have done that gastrostomy and then given the medicines directly into the stomach. But that kind of an approach I have stopped now. Reason is, as I told you, the emotional issue. So that's all the point. I think so. That question about treatment for oral malignancy, also I can't just suggest specific anything. I think with that I have tried answered all the questions which are available now. I hope I have answered. So thank you. We'll